Hello everybody and welcome to the Reskin course by Blue Cloud Solutions. This video we're going to talk a little bit about an introduction. We're going to go through everything you're going to learn in this entire course. I'm going to answer any questions you have, and you're just going to get a really good overview of what you can expect in the next few videos, worksheets, PDFs, exercises, everything else. It's just a really good introduction for you. So thank you so much, and hello and welcome. And this is awesome. So you'll be hearing my voice throughout all these videos, so I hope you enjoy it and great times. So let's just dive right into it, right? So what are you going to learn in this course, okay? It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, if you're a veteran, we are just going to learn everything. And if you know absolutely nothing about reskinning or skinning or whatever you want to call it, don't worry. Like you'll learn everything you need to know in this entire course, start to finish. And I'm just going to run through what you're going to learn in all the videos when you watch them all. Okay, so first and foremost, probably the one thing you guys are dying to know is, what is reskinning? Like, what is the idea of skinning an app? We're going to walk through what that entire process is, what the model looks like, how to be good at it, just everything you need to know, no matter what level you're at. The second thing we're going to talk about are the benefits and disadvantages of skinning on iOS versus other platforms, right? I mean, the mobile app store is growing like crazy, not only on Apple, but on Google Play, on Amazon, on Windows, on Samsung, in Asia, everything. I mean, it's going crazy. And we're going to talk a lot about, is skinning just for Apple anymore? Is it for everything else? And we're going to show you a lot of really cool stuff that you're going to get a lot of value out of. Third thing we're going to talk about is just successful skinning case studies. Okay, I've done who knows how many different actual case studies I've done, but I took one of the best ones I have, one of the ones that's easiest to understand and that continues to work really well for me. It did really well financially, but just the model and the way we did it, I think you guys will get a lot of educational value out of it. And some of them that I've done have had massive returns on investments, and the one we're going to talk about did really well. But I'm just going to walk through every single piece of the step and the decisions I made so that you can make the same things. You can learn from that, and we'll walk through that. Fourth, this is a question I get a lot of. Now, obviously, a huge part of skinning and reskinning is you're going to ask, how do I identify good source codes to buy? Here's some of the source codes we were selling on Blue Cloud for a long time. How do you pick the ones to choose from? There's a million websites out there, and if you don't end up buying from Blue Cloud, that's totally fine. There's other websites you can choose from, but I want to show you how to pick the best ones, and I'm going to show you how I choose the ones that I sell because why I believe them and why they've done so well for everyone else. What we're also going to talk about is something that a lot of people run into is finding developers, right? And with reskinning, it's really important to know how to do this because typically you're going to be producing lots of products, lots of apps, lots of portfolios, different things like that. And so the hires you make early on can make a really big difference down the road. And I get these questions all the time. I really want to just show you exactly how to find perfect developers, not only in general, but specifically for reskinning and for skinning apps and what to look for and what questions to ask. I also want to show you, this is a big one, how to set up developer accounts that are primed for skinning because how a big gaming company is going to set up their developer account might be different than how you're going to set it up. And it might be different than how the indie developer sets it up or, some big retail brand. It's all different. And there's some nuances that I really want to talk to you about that I've had I've worked on, 15, 20 developer accounts. And I've a lot of information on this that can help you save a lot of time and a ton of money. Okay, so 7, this is something that's really important for beginners and veterans. This is just, how do you get started? What project do you choose? Not only when you buy the source code, but, how do you choose the project for skinning? What direction do you go in? What decisions do you make? We're going to talk about that a lot so that you know exactly how to make these decisions and what path to go down. I also want to do a step-by-step walkthrough of the actual process, okay? This is not just a case study. This is an actual, what is step 1 of reskinning? What is step 2? What is step 3? So that you can compartmentalize your entire operations so that you know exactly what the business looks like. You know exactly what you need to do to go from, hey, I think this app skinning thing is a really good idea, all the way to, wow, I've produced 20 apps a month now. I want to show you every single step of that process and really break it down, make it really simple to understand so that you can take that and be very actionable about it. 9, I really want to show you some of the best practices because there's a lot of things that people do and a lot of things that people don't do. And the thing about best practices that I really gravitate towards is that this is not based on trends, okay? It doesn't matter if it's 2012 or 2020. Best practices are always going to work because it comes down to really good marketing. And I just want to show you what the best practices are, how to manage your operations, how to monetize apps, how to market them. I just want to show you what the best practices are in the app skinning game. And then obviously we're going to talk a lot about, things like themes, keywords, updates, all the things that you want to know about in terms of, hey, what do I do once I get the source code? The most popular questions, ASO, all that stuff. We'll talk about that pretty much every module. You'll hear something about that, but I really want to address that because I know that's a big topic for a lot of you. And obviously on top of all this, you're going to have tons of videos. You can see them all over, in the area here. You're also going to get a lot of exercises, and you're going to get a lot of tools. You're going to get PDFs, you're going to get breakdowns, you're going to get transcriptions, you're going to get spreadsheets, everything you can ask for to make this really work well for you. I'm going to put up lots of links for resources you can use, and I'll always be adding to this course. So make sure you check back because there'll always be good stuff coming back. And of course, you're probably, for a lot of you, one of the best things, I know this is for me, I learn the best from people telling me about their experiences, and that's something I'm going to share. So I'm always going to be telling you about, I reskinned this one app one time and it totally bombed, and I reskinned this other app and it completely blew my mind because it did so well. And I'm just going to share with you as many experiences as I can so you can learn from me, and you can learn what I failed at and what I was successful at and what I learned along the way. Quick introduction, if you don't know me, my name is Carter. That's a picture of me in my co-working space in San Francisco. And I've made over 1,400 apps, believe it or not. It's been a pretty wild ride. It's been a few years now. And I think at our height, we were doing about 70 or 80 a month. This is on all platforms. It's been really fun. It's been a great education. I've worked on apps from as small as you can imagine, the easiest open source code you've ever heard of, all the way up to apps that are making over $10 million a year. It's the widest range of everything, and then I own tons and tons of apps. It's been a great ride. Now the crazy thing is, when I tell a lot of people this, is that most of my apps are from the exact same source codes. I didn't develop 1,400 apps from scratch and launch them and test everything perfectly. A lot of these, it's kind of the 80-20 rule. If you don't know the 80-20 rule, Google that. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's all about, if you do 20% of the effort, you get 80% of the results. And that's how I was able to do this, because I took winning source codes and I used this model, exactly what you're going to learn in this course. And so my goal is to show you exactly how this works, right? I want to show you everything that you need to do to be successful, and I also want to show you how you can do it too. There's no reason why you can't build the exact same amount of apps to have this same level of growth. I want to show you everything you can do with that. Because honestly, this is the least expensive, least risky, and most profitable way to build an app business, right? This is it. And you can look at any business out there. Think about a franchise, right? Would you want to start a restaurant, or would you want to buy a profitable franchise that has an operating manual and here's exactly what you do to make money? Think of that like reskinning versus trying to develop your own app. And that's what this is all about, and that's what I want to teach you. Because you're gonna learn about stop thinking about building the actual app itself. Stop getting super obsessed about one app, and you're gonna start thinking about building an app business. And that's a really big, shift for a lot of people that get into these kind of marketing businesses. Okay, so the best part about this, in my opinion, is this is not some hack, right? I do not like businesses where it's, there's a Google algorithm is messed up for 3 days. Hey, let's buy as much as we can and make all this money. I'm not into that. I'm not into some short-term hack. I'm here for a proven long-term solution that's built on fundamentals, because I know if you're investing in this, you're investing your time and your money into anything that's, that you're passionate about like this, you want to be here for the long haul. This isn't just a one-time deal. And I respect that, because that's how I am. And so I want to show you everything that's not built on some little trick I found out. It's built on actual business, and you're really gonna be able to take that to the next level. Because these principles are the exact same that are used by virtually every other industry. Like I mentioned, with franchises, with things like cars and assembly lines and all that sort of stuff. And just think about this. This is kind of an example that might help paint a good picture. You want to build a house that people will rent, right? Let's say you are a housing developer, or you want to buy an investment property, and you say, all right, I want to build a house that people are going to rent. The number one thing you want is people to come and search and find your house and say, oh, wow, this is great. I want to rent it. Now, you have two options when you decide what kind of house to get, right? The first one is do custom blueprint, and you make all these plans. You say, oh, this is so cool, and this feels so good. Oh, I'm so excited about this. And you really hope people like it because you think it's so cool, right? Is that one option? Now here's the other option. You go and you find houses that get rented every single time, that people, everyone, you know that they love renting them. And you just go and you say, hey, can I borrow your blueprints? And you just borrow that for pennies on the dollar, and you say, okay, I can just build a house just like this. I know people are going to rent it, right? When you think about it like that, it kind of becomes a no-brainer. And you're going to learn how to do this with apps. That's what reskinning and skinning apps is all about. And so with this course, at the end of the day, what this is all about is you're going to learn how to do it. You're going to understand how to do it. You're going to be able to implement it. And then you're going to be able to repeat it so that you can do this over and over and grow the business as much as you'd like in whatever fashion you'd like. And then I would really, really like it if you would come and join me. And as you guys could probably tell if you've read my blog, if you know anything about me, I love travel. I love the lifestyle this app business has given me. These are just some of the pictures from Hawaii, from Sri Lanka, from the British Virgin Islands, from Hong Kong, from Thailand. I've been very fortunate because this app business not only has been a great one, but it's so flexible and there's so much freedom. It's really been amazing. And that's what I want to give you guys. That's what I want. I want you to have the tools and have the fire and the passion to be able to make this happen. So without further ado, let's do this, guys. I'm really excited. Definitely stay tuned. There's a lot of really good information coming up, and I will see you in the next video.